Welcome back to my channel, hosers. Well, fellow hosers. And that is of course a reference to the fact that we use hoses when we garden. I'm not trying to insult any Canadians who may be watching. This is going to be the first in a series of videos where I talk about some critters that we might see in our gardens, and we might wonder, should I let this stay here or do I need to do something about it? So we're just going to start with probably one of my big childhood favorites, which was the woodlouse or pillbug, or in my family we call them potato bugs. But if you Google potato bug, you're gonna get like some sort of weird beetle looking thing that's definitely not a woodlouse, or you're going to get kind of a weird locust looking thing that's definitely not a woodlouse. So apparently my family has been calling them by a weird name for a long time. There are a lot of names that we use to describe this common critter, this isopod, this crustacean, this formerly aquatic creature that has chosen to live in just about every habitat on Earth. And for that reason, I was kind of inspired to do a silly quasi music video that doesn't really have any singing in it. Watch till the end if you want to see that, and if you do, just let me apologize in advance for what's about to happen to you. Okay, so woodlice in the garden. How do we feel about them? If you see a bunch of these little roly-polies crawling around, maybe on the leaves of your crops, maybe on your strawberries, should you be worried? The answer is usually it's complicated. And that's gonna be, we're gonna start with it's complicated with just about every creature that we talk about. If I talk about tomato hornworms, guess what? Those are complicated too. So there is some damage that can be done by roly-polies or potato bugs or pill bugs in your garden, and occasionally they'll go after tender young seedlings, and occasionally they will nibble on soft fruits on the ground. So if you have strawberries, you might notice some nibble damage. Probably it's not potato bugs, but it could be. They also will tend to take advantage of damage that has been done by other critters. So just because you see a woodlouse in a wound on a plant, that doesn't mean the woodlouse made the wound. It could just be stopping by for some of that moisture that's leaking out, because being crustaceans, they need that moisture to survive. Now, there are ways that woodlice can be immensely beneficial in your garden. So on balance, I would say that these critters should be welcome. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. Let me tell you about the pros now. We talked about the cons. A little bit of damage to seedlings, a little bit of damage to soft ground bearing fruits. So the pros are that they are detritivores, which means that they eat organic matter that is usually dead and laying on or in the ground. They're going to break that organic matter down, they're going to liberate the nutrients in it, and they are going to make it into available nutrients for your plants. So if you've got some dead leaves or whatever in your garden, they're working hard to turn that into fertilizer just for you. They will also a little bit be beneficial for the structure of your soil. They're not big diggers. They tend to prefer to take advantage of hiding holes that are already there. But if you have some loose, fluffy soil, they are going to help keep that loose and fluffy by agitating the soil particles and helping keep them broken up, and maybe incorporating some of that organic matter back down into the soil. So they're aerating your soil, they're liberating nutrients for your plants, and then a third benefit, as if they aren't already beneficial enough, these pill bugs are high in calcium, which means any egg-laying critters that visit your garden and eat them, whether it's a bird or a reptile or whatever, if it lays a hard-shelled egg, that extra calcium boost that they're getting from the shells of the pill bugs is going to help them lay healthier, stronger eggs. So by fostering pill bugs in your garden, not only are you getting a direct benefit by allowing them to improve your soil, but you are also providing benefit for any birds and reptiles that are in your neighborhood. So I think overall, you're getting way more good than harm out of this particular critter. So I talked about a couple of times, I think, that these are crustaceans, and that means that they breathe with gills, just like fish do, except, you know, they're a land creature and they have gills. And because of this, that's why you will always find them hanging out underneath stuff during the day. They are hiding from the hot and the dry, because if their gills dry out, they will die. And another cool fact about pillbugs is that they have a structure on the females called a marsupium. If that sounds familiar, well, first of all, good job, you know a little Latin. So that is the same prefix as we have in marsupial, as in kangaroo or opossum, and they use it the same way. The female potato bug will carry her eggs, her fertilized eggs, and her larvae inside her marsupium. So there's a little bit of parental care from this critter. You don't see parental care a lot in invertebrates, so whenever we do, it's always a little bit extra endearing. Because of the marsupium that is basically, you find it on the underbelly of the female, because that is there, it is possible with a great deal of accuracy to sex a pillbug if you want to. So if you want to know if it's male or female, you get it on its back, preferably without too much trauma, because if it rolls up, you won't be able to see what's going on. If you see two separate gonads toward the backside, they're just going to be like white semi-rectangular patches. That's probably a male, and those are his gonads. And if you're giggling right now, good for you. If you have rolled over a female roly-poly, then she's just going to have a single larger marsupium down where the gonads would be on the male. So one big one in the middle is a female, two little ones off to the sides are a male. And the reason you might want to be interested in sexing your pillbugs is that some people choose to keep them as pets. And in fact, they make really great pets. You don't need a large enclosure. Something about the size of a shoebox is more than adequate. You just provide consistently damp areas and consistently dry areas so that they can regulate their dampness and continue breathing comfortably. They'll eat vegetable kitchen scraps, and it turns out, this was a little bit of a surprise to me. One of my students pointed out that you can buy these, pillbugs that have been bred for colors and patterns, and breeding colonies of them can go for as much as $100. So this is a whole aspect of these common garden critters that kind of caught me a bit by surprise. Maybe it'll surprise you too. Now, if I have not managed to convince you that potato bugs are a net good and should be enjoyed and encouraged in the garden, I will tell you how to get rid of them. Even though every biologist bone in my biologist body is telling me, no, don't do it. But here you go. You want to deprive them of hiding places, and you want to let things dry out. And that's it. If they don't have a place to hide from the dry and maintain their moisture so that they can breathe, they will just die, and you are going to be out of potato bugs. One place where this does become relevant is if you are growing strawberries and you are being meticulous and you just want no markings on them at all, ever. You don't want to lose a single strawberry. So you're going to want to use a mulch underneath your strawberries that is going to do less to encourage potato bugs, because that is a soft fruit on the ground. So that's kind of where the name strawberry comes from. This is a berry that you can mulch with straw, because straw is dry. It doesn't provide as much shelter for slugs and for potato bugs. And then your only problem is going to be birds. Good luck with that. I recommend some bird netting over your strawberries for that. So anyway, this has been a look at potato bugs, pill bugs, sow bugs, woodlice, boat builders, whatever common name you have for them. This has been a look at what they do in your garden. If you hang on just a few more moments, you're going to watch, well, a terrible, terrible harm that I have inflicted on the internet in the form of me not really singing to not really music, mostly about all the names of potato bugs. So I am so sorry for what you're about to experience. And hey, thanks for watching my video. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you around. Armadillo, bug, boat builder, butcher boy, carpenter, cheesy bobs, cheese bug, chiggy pig, chisel pig, chucky pig, gamer sow, monkey peas, peasy bug, pea bug, wood pig, doodle bug, roly poly, hog louse, wood bug, wood pig, slater, muffin cord, and potato bug, roll up bug, terrestrial, isopod, pod. Martha and Kylomorpha crustaceans. Crustaceans that live on land, under rocks, and in your mulch. Decomposers in your garden. Don't eat them. They're not medicine. Crustaceans. I guess they're not poisonous. Some people say they taste like shrimp. Crustaceans. I guess you could try it.